So, what I am first wondering is there anything else in this journal that I could put to use that isn't being put to use? Because I know that since this is still a working journal, there's probably ephemera laying around. A lot of this already seems very stuck in. This really doesn't though. Maybe I'll steal this. Steve actually gave me this postcard a long time ago. Does it work? Not in my eyes. I'm not going to discount it might have worked for someone else, but not for me today. Got some of these. Oh, I do really like these little aliens. Do they work? I think they're cute. We can leave them as an option. I know I had some ephemera, yeah, here it is, laying around here. I've got a postcard, got stickers here. Oh, these are by April Gleason. Aren't they cute? Love these. Maybe we could put some stickers on there as well. We love a good sticker moment. Art Journaling the Magic postcard. That piece of ephemera belongs there. What else is in here? Why do I have so many postcards? It's probably for documenting, which I should probably get back to one day. All right, I'm loving these because they're very rainbow as well. So now I'm gonna try and just literally fuss about and see if I can't get these on here in a way that would make a lot of sense, so that I could still see everything else that's going on. I might actually need to trim them down a bit. And yes, sometimes I will cut things even if I haven't decided to use it, just because I need to know, will it work for what I need it to work for? And I'm such a visual person, I need to actually see it trimmed. I'm really enjoying that, but I don't really want to cover up a lot of it. So, oh look, we even used a 10 Escoda brush. This was absolutely fate. This is the piece we'll be using. See, I could get on here and say, I chose this specifically because I saw, no, absolutely not. Just complete luck. So, let me grab a little tape runner. We have decided that this is what we want. I wonder if we made it a tip in. Oh yeah, I'm liking it like that for some reason. Like if it opened out. But then you've got to be careful, because if I was already having a struggle trying to fill this page and then suddenly I opened up this, now I've got this to decorate and all of this to decorate. But I think I want to do my journaling underneath it. So this might actually work out for us. I'm going to need a piece of washi tape. Oh, I found this at the Daiso the other day. This could actually be pretty fire in my opinion. Look at that. Isn't that Gorgina? Where do I want it? Just ripped it off. No idea what to do with it. I know I want to use it. That's what I know. Let's see. This is very Magic Happens, this big old washi tape. Just want to make sure it's down without any bubbles in it. Alright, there's that piece. Well, I'm liking that, Kim. I think I do want to go a little old school and washi tape the corners of this photo. So I'm going to peel it off because remember we printed it on sticker paper. Don't need any glue, which is great because I think a lot of glue might struggle to stick to this. I'm going to place it right in the middle of that page. I've got a ton of Disney washi tapes here, don't tell my mum. This is what I've been spending all my money on. I think I want to put, oh, there's so many good ones, I don't even know. Part of me wants to put these character heads around the side. Maybe this will work. There's that cat hair, it just keeps coming back. If I had a mini over here. Come on, Minnie. Yeah, see, washi is transparent, so I don't really want to be able to see the photo behind it. I do have these stickers. Oh, do you know what? Maybe that's what I'll put there. I'll put these little stickers on the side. Perfection. Thank you, April Gleason, for this trade. I knew I said, you know what I mean? You save these things and you're like, oh, I know I'll have a great use for these someday that'll really work out. And I've been feeling guilty because I don't practice what I preach in that way all the time. Sometimes I still hoard. But I think those were destined for there, to be honest. I've also got this too. I don't really know what this is. It's like washi tape, but not really, because it's backed. But maybe some of this would be fun too. Oh, and yes, I'm a more is more kind of person, so this won't be done until I hear you screaming on the other side, stop, stop, it's too much. Even then, I'm still gonna keep going. I do love this washi tape too. A lot of all of this is from the Daiso, if you're curious. I was on a bit of a, not gonna call it a spending spree, but I'll let you fill in the blanks. Obviously came back with a bunch of stuff I didn't really need. No, I had a really good day. I felt good about life, so I thought, you know what? Go and have a bit of washi tape. It was better than buying food, let's be real. It was either that or food. I'd rationalized at that point. Washi tape or food. Plot twist, I just ate the washi tape. Joking. Obviously I'm joking. I don't know why I need to clarify that. Anyway, that's that. Let's stick some of this down because we do need to kind of wrap things up in a second. I think now would be a good time for this tape. This is one of my favorites. This is also from Tokyo Disney Resort. All the little characters, but it's just on a white backing so you can see them. It's really pretty. Oh, I think I want the princesses. Don't worry, I saved the bits that I don't use. Just stick them back on there for next time. I'm gonna put that there. My little white space there. With all the tip-ins, you want to put one on the front, one on the back, which is great because then you've got 2 chances to use washi tapes that you like. Oh, I'm obsessed with this one too. This one's from Tokyo Disneyland. I don't know if they still sell these, but I hope for your sake they do if you're going. Oh, do you know what? It's shut. Tokyo Disneyland shut for the next 2 weeks, I heard. So scratch that, never mind me. Hopefully you're going later. Or maybe the park's closed, maybe the store's still open, I'm not quite sure. In any case, I actually got these in 2017, so who knows if they're still available. I'm gonna have a real struggle when I get to the end of those rolls. But I've also thought, like, maybe that's a reason to go back. I'm just not quite sure. Not that I ever needed a reason, let's be honest. All right, I'm gonna do a bit of journaling here, so let me grab a mild liner pack. I like to, sometimes when I mean all the time, because I don't like to letter, I'll grab a mild liner or a brush pen or a paint pen and I'll actually write out my heading and then just outline it. So I'm just gonna do that right here and put magic happen. Uh-oh. I ran out of space. How did that happen? Part of me just wants to leave it because that's so funny. I'll put a little bracket down here. I'll put magic happen ed for me. There you go. You guys know what I'm talking about. I was gonna blame the pressure of filming, but that's not it. I just had a moment. So now I'm gonna grab a pen. I've just got a Muji pen here. And I'm just gonna trace around the outline of those letters. If they connect, I'll actually kind of trace around that too. I don't mind. Sometimes I'll just outline each one individually, but just kind of go with my mood. And this is just a really easy way of doing block or bubble lettering, whatever you like to call it, without actually having to draw the letters out. Because you know how you'd usually draw them out and then you'd color them in? At least this way, they're already kind of done for you and you can just outline them. It's just a lot easier to reverse that process. I think when it comes to lettering, I'm just happy if the letters are down there. I don't really stress over what they look like anymore. I used to think it had to be pretty, but I'd spend so long trying to make it prettier that I wouldn't want to write by the end of it. So what was all that good for, right? But if lettering is the thing that you enjoy doing, then by all means enjoy doing that. So I know that seems obvious, but I do have to clarify because I just want to say, because it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. I love to share what works for me just on the off chance that you would enjoy it. But as with anything, you know, take the good parts, leave the rest. I actually don't know if that's sound life advice, but, you know, for journaling anyway. I think in life you do have to take some of the bad things to learn from them, so just to clarify that, just in case. But, you know, we're not here for the life lessons, certainly not here for the therapy. I'm going to take my little Muji ruler and just rule up the page. I start from the bottom because I can get a straight line parallel to the bottom of the page, and then I'll just do the same gap all the way up. Then I'll choose about a halfway point and I'll just line it up, eyeballing it as we go up. Then I'll use that one to go up as well. And that way I can get just some handwriting lines. Sometimes I'll do them wonky, other times I'll use a ruler, just depends. This is a Pilot Color Eno pencil, but this is not the lead that it comes with. I brought a different one. Actually, I just have a new one. Where is that? It's literally in my pocket. I got the pink to try. Oh, I should have put this in there. Don't worry, I'll figure that out later. This is the same pencil I used to do that, but it's a red lead that came from the store. Oh, you know what? This probably would have helped to journal on the back of this card before I taped it in, but I'm not about to untape it. I'll just deal with it. I'm gonna put some lines over here for journaling as well, because I have a fair bit to say about yesterday. I had a really good time. I want a completely other random note as well. Thank you to everyone that popped over from Scrap Time Videos channel. I had no idea that that demo was going to go live yesterday. I knew that Christine was spacing them out, But the Creativation demo, that was super fun to go back and relive. And I had a really great time at Creativation, and it's exciting to see because even that seems so long ago, and I know that the stamps are ready now, they're being shipped. So they'll be here within the next couple of weeks. Hopefully I can get all my samples done and do some nice product photography ready for a launch in the Etsy store in the next couple of weeks, just in case you're curious to know. And if someone has asked, I probably won't get back to anyone, let's be real. I'll try and do my best to put the information out there, but this is my first attempt at that. I just want to grab a pen that will write on both of these pieces of paper. I'll use this Pigma Sakura Micron. But yeah, I'll be getting those stamp sets ready soon for us to all enjoy and have a play with. I have it here actually. This is the signature collection. This is the new 2x6, which is a new version of the She's 3-Face. This is actually just a more blank version. Then we've got stamps that we had before, like this is face base, but now there's actually the 3/4 turn, the profile view, the front view ×3. There's a really tiny one that's the same simplified face structure from the doll parts set, and then these proportions have changed a little as well to reflect how I'm liking to work right now. Doll parts stayed the same, concept stayed the same, but we have a concepts in a 4x6 too, so it's a lot smaller. I changed a few items in the Decora set, and then we have these new sets here. The 2 new concept sets, that profile one, and then this is a 3/4 turn with a different face, front facing as well, with all these new Decora pieces, which I'm super excited to play with. Yeah, there's 3 6x8, 6 4x6, and 1 2x6. These will all be up there pretty soon, pending everything in the order went well and it all looks good. I also redesigned the packaging to look like this, so I can't wait for you to see it. I actually can't wait to see it. I haven't seen it yet, but I have faith it will look beautiful. Yeah, I just wanted to thank you for your kind words. Also on the video from last week too. Wow, I had no idea people were going to invest so much love my way. I was quite blown away. Thank you for that. I had a really sweet time reading those messages. In any case, I can't keep you here for too much longer. I'm actually just going to quickly speed through this and I'll come back in a second. There you go. Journaling done. Gonna flip that over like that. I don't know why, but for some finishing touches, I'm just gonna put some paint, Posca paint marker on here. And just draw some little sprinkle of twinkle. I'm gonna put it on there with white paint marker as well. I told you, I'll put the kitchen sink on here. Nothing is safe, nothing is sacred. I will draw over everything and I will put every color and every medium I have to use. There is one thing that's kind of annoying me a little bit, so I'm going to try and cover it up with this, and it's just the fact that this is on a little jaunty angle. Let's see if I can put them there. Just kind of cover that up a little bit. There you go, that works a little better for me. I think I kind of want, I don't know, why do I want Sleeping Beauty on there too? Because she was a part of the parade that I absolutely loved. She had a pink and blue dress, so what am I supposed to choose? I don't know. Pink. Just, I want her peeking out. Ooh. Oh no, I'm ripping it up. I just wanted her peeking out the top. Now I've made a mess. There we go. That's better. Now I need her on the other side. I'll use her blue because she did have a pink and blue dress, so I'll see. This is all just really working out now. Guys, honestly, stop me at this point. You know I'm just gonna keep going. I have this little tape runner thing, this little deco tape. It's called Fluffy Dot. They're supposed to be watercolor dots. I got this from the Daiso as well. I just want more color. I'm not the best at using these, but give it a go. And then I'll put more of the sparkles, more of the twinkle down here, just to kind of bridge that gap between the writing and the watercolor. All right, so that's it. I'm actually really happy with that. I'm gonna put you back into face mode just so we can have a chat and wrap things up. It's not Glossier, it's sweat. It's kind of a nice sunny day and I'm wearing a hoodie, but you know, merch. Okay, it's done. I was really happy with it. So happy with it. I closed the book. Here it is. Nice and colorful. I do like everything that happened, but let's just be honest. That was a long video, I'm assuming. I haven't edited it together yet, but I know that there was a lot of clips. And if I can just bend your ear for a second, I think I'm gonna end this with a kind of TED Talk. Look, as I was going through it, my initial intention for this video was just to show you through my thought process. And as I was going, I was like, wow, I chat too much. But you know what? I can't change me. I could try and work on it. Like today, I'm actually just focusing on looking into this part of the camera, not this part of the camera. So that's the thing I'm working on today, just so we know we're actually trying to make some progress here. But as far as my chattiness, that's going to be a hard one to try and rein in sometimes, which, you know, you do. Sometimes I do need to be a bit more concise. Definitely learned that with my travel journal workshop when I had to redo a lot of voiceovering because I just kept going on too many tangents. Even now I'm doing it again. And now I'm looking over here. I'm messing it all up. That's that on that. Let's get into the TED Talk. It's not even that bad. I just wanted to use this as an opportunity to say what I felt come up on my heart. And I know that sounds airy-fairy and wishy-washy, but let's just go with it. I say, as I was going through it, it was taking a long time, and I thought, wow, I thought this was going to be a really short video, a nice, not nice and short as in like, I don't want to do content for you guys, because sometimes that's how that comes across to me when people are like, I just did a really quick one for you. It's like, why? You didn't have to do anything. I mean, if you did have to, I don't know, whatever. Let's not go to that tangent, because I don't feel like I'm being very gracious in that area today. But for this, I thought it would be a concise video, a really informative one, and that it would be quite placid even. I thought I might be a different person. I might be, you know, quite put together. Just wasn't. But I think that really relates to what I ended up getting to, and I just wanted to share it because I think it was an opportunity to share this message. If people don't want to hear it, they don't want to hear it, and that's fine too. But last week, I think it was last week or maybe this past week that we just had, I'm not quite sure. Roxanne from By Bun, if you've followed any of her work before, incredible mixed media artist. Our subject matter could not be further from each other. But I really, really love not only like her incredible skill, but her passion for the business side of what she's created and how that translates. You know, as much as I love arts and crafts and dancing and all this stuff, I'm like a passionate business person as well. I want to know how these things work, how we all relate to business and relate to consumerism and marketing ploys and tactics. I'm just curious about all that stuff because at the end of the day, we're still humans interacting, and when money gets involved, things become really different. Ironically, what I'm talking about today is when money's not involved, and you would think there'd be no problem there, but last week Roxanne had put out a Q&A on her Instagram, and I'm a little nosy and I'm a bit of a loser, so I ask very intrusive questions, which, you know, I personally wouldn't answer if I didn't want to, and I know Roxanne's the same way. If she didn't want to answer it, she wouldn't, and I really do rely on them being anonymous. Well, I mean, I think the sharing is anonymous, but I think she knows that it was me that asked it. Which was fine anyway, because peer-to-peer, like I still have these conversations behind the screens, but I wanted to see, like, if given the opportunity, what Roxanne would respond to this question, because it was a little intrusive, and I had said, I don't remember all the exact phrasing, but I had asked, if you could change one thing about our community, what would you change? And paraphrasing, but I believe it was something to the effect of, I would change people who just constantly demanded free content, or people's expectation for free content all the time, and how people can be so rude about that, which I concur, absolutely. I think diving a little deeper into it, this is a topic I don't think I've ever really spoken about before, because it is very touchy when you think about it. It's very sensitive for people because a lot of us interact in a very free space. You right now are paying nothing to watch this other than whatever your internet bill costs, but since I don't get money for that, technically you're not really giving me anything to watch this, which is fine. There's reasons I do this too, right? Like AdSense might pay me, Google might pay me if an ad played on your video. Whilst I don't do YouTube for money because it didn't work out that way for me, I would really enjoy it if it did. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to begrudge other people's blessing for that working out, just because I don't make that. I never started because I thought I could make a ton of money. I started because I had free content. I had access to free content in a moment of my life that was very vulnerable, and where I actually found a lot of value in being in community the way that I was in those early mixed media days. Ironically, what I just shared last week about getting back to basics. And if I could strip away all of the stuff that's happened since, going back to that space, I actually never considered how much work was going into something when I was watching it. And even things that I didn't even think were edited still went, like, work still happened. Even if I thought, oh, your video isn't color graded, there's no music that you put over it, there's no intro, there's no logos, there's no transitions, there's no nothing. Even if it was just a straight up, if I just uploaded this without editing anything, there was still work. You still actually took the time to process thoughts, or to sit down and collect an idea, or to draw something, or to paint something. Like, even all of that was work that someone still said, you know what, I'll go the extra mile, I'll film it, and I'll put it out there for people. And I'll also open myself up for criticism. I'll open myself up for engagement. I'll, you know, that's a lot, just in and of itself, which I think we take a bit for granted nowadays, with social media being so in everyone's life, in each other's lives. So I wanted to just at least take this opportunity to say that, you know, this is something that I felt towards the end of this page coming together, where I was looking at it and I think I didn't really do a lot. Like, I painted the background, I stuck a photo on, and I did some writing. And are people even going to validate that I did anything today? Like, are they going to think, because I've done videos before where the video itself is like weeks of work that has gone into that one video, and it may not look like it, but, you know, you can literally see I've been to multiple different places. Or like when the Whimsy Ween research vlog, like getting in the car and going to Disneyland, and then going to Halloween, like Spirit City, and going to Target, and going to this, you know, putting all that together was so much, just so that on a Friday, any certain amount of, you know, whoever might see that video just sees it and can respond to it. My value is in the sense that I actually really like doing a lot of it. I like sharing my passion for it, because I know what it's like to have someone share their passion with me, and I know how much that helped me in a time when I really needed that. And beyond that, I actually just love watching it. I love watching creative people be creative. I love watching people believing in themselves, believing in their gifts and talents, using them, not even caring how they're going to be received, but just indulging what I believe are God's gifts to each other, just sharing that with each other. Like, I love that. So of course I want to be a part of it. Obviously life gets in the way, and sometimes it feels like a lot of work, and sometimes it can feel like obligation, sometimes it can feel lots of different things. But I think if you really peel back all the layers, you're still able to ask yourself, like, why are you doing this? And my why was never money, so the conversation always looked very different. Sometimes it tried to be, I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes it really tried to be money, which, you know, that's its own problem. I'm not going to say you shouldn't do it, but you really have to be tough on yourself when money comes in. And this is why when I started Patreon experiences, I even was very, very, I was actually more forceful in that respect to say, I see this very differently. Patreon is not YouTube. Don't expect what you get on YouTube on Patreon, and vice versa, because Patreon is a product. It's a content bundle at the end of the day that you're paying for. And I even said, like, do set your expectations up for that. You can expect, as a consumer, you paid me for this, you will receive that. And that's why the whole experience feels different for me on my end, because the accountability is different. Now, I believe there's accountability in YouTube. It's a huge topic that I can't get into today because it's very multifaceted, but I think your experience with expectation on YouTube is really tricky, because you go in as a creator thinking, no one can expect anything because they're not giving me anything. This is just me sharing. In sharing, you can incidentally set up expectations. Things saying like, you know, oh, I'm going to share this with you. People will hold on to that. Saying, okay, go out and buy this book because next week we're going to start a series, and I'm going to take you through the whole series of how to work in this book, and then you never do it. People can be very disappointed, because if they've come to know and trust you and like engage with you, suddenly you're lying to them. And that is a really foreign concept for a lot of people. And I think even myself, a lot of the time, sometimes I'd find myself early days watching videos thinking, why am I mad at this woman? Like, why am I angry at her? She's been doing nothing but giving me free content. But then I realized, oh, my expectations have shifted. I wasn't on here just appreciating the gift that she was giving me for free. She had suddenly set up an expectation which I bought into. Now, it's hard because you don't want to be like, oh, it's your fault, it's this person's fault, it's that fault. I do say, don't promise things that aren't going to come, because you can sometimes have to wear the blame. You know, if I got on here and said, hey guys, let's go and buy this certain set of supplies because I'm about to do a 10-week series on how to create in this journal, and I just never came back to YouTube, that would be a problem. You would absolutely be able to tell me, hey, I trusted you, I've been invested in you, I went and bought all this stuff, I actually parted with money because of you, because you told me to, and now you've let me down. Those expectations, I believe, are valid like that. But as far as people's expectation just for everyone's content to be free all the time, it's really, really hard to talk about, because you have to get honest with yourself and say, look, my life is not free. I have to pay bills. I have to live in this space. I have to pay for the internet that uploads this video. I have to pay for the phone that records it. I have to pay for the editing that I have to do, the music. Just so you don't get sick of the same music, I have to pay to have different music that I can use in a public setting and still monetize, so that I can hopefully recoup some of those costs that I invest. Because ultimately you do invest because you want to grow. Anyway, different tangent. So I wanted to at least bring that up. I wanted to at least say, you know, from Roxanne bringing that up, I do agree, and this is probably a talking point that we could, you know, investigate another time. I believe that you can set expectations on YouTube. I do not believe anyone should expect everything to be free all the time, because it's not the way of the world, and it's certainly not the way of people's business. If people let you set that expectation up, then, you know, perhaps it's just a misunderstanding, or, you know, that can be clarified. If people have set that expectation up for you, then accountability has to enter the chat at that point. But I do agree with Roxanne, and I would just say this much. Also, to be careful that what you expect from one person isn't what you transfer to another person. Just because we're all in the same space doesn't mean we're all the same people and we all have the same experiences. I acknowledge my privilege as a male. I don't even know what that does in this space, but I do imagine that there's some point of difference that causes me to be like a little bit more, I don't know, I think the treatment might be a little bit different. Sometimes I think it's worse, sometimes I think it's better. Like, I don't really fit in with the whole, like, you know, planner girls and all the, you know, all the terminology that's very female centric. I don't think I fit in there, but at the same time I don't feel excluded. So I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna acknowledge like whatever white male privilege I do carry here, because that usually transfers everywhere and I don't like that. But what I will acknowledge as well is that I have the privilege of living in Southern California. I have access to art supplies. I have a support system of family and friends that are really encouraging about my career. I have access to, you know, internet, phone, recording equipment, really great equipment to be able to make things. I don't have children. I am full-time in my art and my mixed media arts and crafts, so I have the luxury of time as well, even though it doesn't look like a lot of time. I'm going to say I have that as well. Please acknowledge that all of those privileges I carry don't carry over to everyone else. You know, this is not, Roxanne didn't ask me to say this at all either. I hope this is okay. Sorry, Roxanne. But she's also a new mum, and so there's going to be a huge difference of expectation there that I would just assume was obvious to people. But if it's not, hopefully that this conversation might illuminate some of that. You know, I wouldn't expect a new mum to be creating at the same rate that they were 2 months or like 2 years before they were pregnant. Do you know what I mean? Let each person set their own guidelines for how you should expect things from them, and if you don't know that, I would encourage you to ask. I think there's nothing wrong with asking someone, hey, I'm about to follow you. I'm gonna get invested in your channel. I think I like you. I think I want to, you know, maybe buy some stuff from your store. What do you see the vision for your future? How do you see offering content going for you? What are your plans? What are your intentions? Why do you do this? And take all of that as someone that, and if you're lucky enough to get those answers, use that to fuel how you start expecting things from that person. I think there's nothing wrong, especially, and I'm talking business owners here, like please don't go and get some like local arts and crafter who literally just does YouTube videos just for fun. Like, that's a bit much, that's a bit heavy. But someone who has monetized their business and asked you to be involved in that process as well. Whether it's buying from them or just watching, you know, a video with ads on it. I don't think there's anything wrong with asking someone to really get deep with their intentions about that, because it would give you a really good opportunity to know what to expect in the future. It's not going to excuse everything that happens. You can still feel like people should be accountable for what they say, but at least you will have an opportunity then to really know from the horse's mouth, so to speak, what they want to do with you and how they want to approach you as the consumer. Anyway, so that's all I'm going to say, and if you really want to go that deep with me right now, I'm just going to say straight up, my intentions are to empower, educate, and encourage. I love alliteration, so I'm going to throw that into my mission statement. I want everyone to believe in their inherent creativity, and I just want to show through my own journey how to get the most out of it, and how beneficial it is to feel creatively expressed in whatever capacity. I also don't limit myself. It's why I've said I'm JLB creative, because I don't want to limit myself to saying I'm just going to do it through drawing, because I have passions that extend just beyond drawing. It's not to say that just drawing couldn't do it. There are plenty of people who just focus on something, and there's a real wealth of knowledge to gain from people who focus on stuff as well. But my intention is just to take you along for that journey, and hopefully engage with you all the best parts of how I'm enjoying that, and get that out of you too, if you don't already have it. And if you do have it, I just want you around, because it's a two-way street, communication and relationship with people. I don't think that I've ever felt like this was just me laying it all on you, as much as it were me presenting myself and you presenting yourself back to me. It is hard to stay in touch with everybody, I'll admit that. I have a shortcoming in responding, especially lately, but those are my intentions. And as far as my business goes, my business is an extension. My business literally exists to be able to pay the bills that I have, to continue doing that ultimate first mission that I have. And that's been a real journey for me, because I have been a professional dancer all my life, and I still struggle with the idea of going back to that and just forgetting any of this ever happened. So that's my own personal journey that I'm stepping more into now, is why I still feel that way, knowing that I could just actually go and dance and keep both, but for some reason I'm just struggling with those thoughts. So I'm going to let you know that my business is just there to generate income, so that I can keep doing what I actually really prefer to be doing, which is sharing my passion with you. And hopefully that is more encouraging and empowering than the products you buy, or because I don't want you to think you have to spend money to receive something of value. I certainly received most of the valuable things I got in life without having to pay for them. So paying for them is a privilege, and paying for them is also another way for you to express gratitude, or for you to enjoy even more of what you already enjoy. Maybe a way to treat yourself or spoil yourself. But I don't want you to ever think that just because some people disappear, that's how they feel about you. Sometimes they have to do what they have to do to pay the bills. And yeah, you never know what might happen in the future, but we all hope for the best, right? Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, because I'm just going to get too deep. But thank you so much for joining me for this video. Thanks for joining me for the extra TED Talk at the end. I'm undecided if I'll split this into 2 videos. I'll make that decision later. I've got to edit it and put it up. It's literally due today. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you again another time. Bye.